Well, hey everybody. Well, everybody. I don't think anybody's here yet. Uh, yeah. See if anybody shows up because I don't know about where you are, but here it's kind of like a rainy, dreary day. Um, haven't gotten a lot of rain yet. They say we're going to be getting more rain in I don't know maybe about an hour, thereabouts, and we're hoping and praying for more rain. We need it. It's supposed to rain into tomorrow morning, so hopefully we'll get some. I think further west is getting more than I am, so we'll see. Keep praying for it anyway. Um, we did get some. Right now, my large 550-gallon tank is half full. I think I mentioned that before on a video. Um, I think I uploaded it. I don't know. I can't. It seems to me I might have one or two on my phone that I haven't uploaded yet. I have to take a look. Um, I tell you, trying to understand these shorts is like, I don't know. It makes no sense to me. The very first short that I posted got overnight 33,000 views. It's like, whoa. And then, like, was a couple others that got like, in the several hundreds. I think there was one that got like 3,000 or something. Um, and it's like, okay, so they seem to be getting more views. Well, I just posted a short about a new tool that I got, the unboxing, and got 11 views. Now, I don't know if that's because the comments were turned off when I first started, and right now it's got the worst thumbnail that you could possibly have. I have tried multiple times to change the thumbnail on that short, and it says it's safe to changes, but it's still showing the same old really lousy thumbnail. So who knows? I don't understand it, and honestly, I don't know why they're getting so many views because I guess maybe some people like them. Personally, I don't really care for the shorts. I don't like the format. Um, and I mean, I will watch some, but very few shorts I even bother with. Very few shorts. Um, the only reason I even do them is because that's what YouTube wants. YouTube wants the creators to put shorts out. So that's what I'm doing. Um, I tell you, can you believe that our cell phones are no longer sacred? Political advertisement on my cell phone. You know, I put enough thought and research into who's running and what they stand for and stuff like that. I know who I'm voting for at this point in the game. I don't need to be harassed by who knows who about what I need to vote for. I don't need it. It's irritating. I know the questions that are going to be on the ballot, and I know how I'm going to vote for them. Fly. You still can't get rid of these flies. Anyway, they go away and then they come back. They go away and they come back. Uh, so anyway, okay, nope, still nobody here. Um, did anybody see Springfield's video on the how dry the Ohio River is. Um, oh, I tell you, that is bad. Just looking out the window there. Um, to see such a large river so dry, it's like that's unsettling. It's like I know that I've seen several ponds around here, including my pond, that's starting to show signs that we're getting down water wise. Um, I know my creek up here um, is is dry. I don't even think there's any puddles left from the last rain we had. Um, and the creek downstream that my creek feeds to, uh, there was just puddles. When Dizzy was here, um, we walked over in that area, and in order to get to, you see, one part on on the lot, we were walking in the creek because there's no briars growing on the creek. So there was still some water in spots, but not very much. And I'm just thinking about the life, the, the wildlife out there. You know, they're going to be congregating wherever there's water, I guess. And that creek, there is still water, but it's very, very little. Um, my pond, there's water. Um, I think they can still get to the water. Um, if it gets down too far, it gets pretty steep. Um, I haven't been up there for a little bit. I've been concentrating on things around here. Um, my neighbor's pond, he's got water. I was looking at it today as we were driving home from church, and it. I think I'm starting to see around the edge, where the water, where there's no grass growing because the water is normally there. Um, so his pond's starting to go down. He has a bigger pond than I do. I wouldn't be surprised if he's got deer and other wildlife visiting his pond too. Anything above me, I don't think there's any source of water above me, um, except for my pond. My pond is a little bit above, mm, maybe about the same level as my cabin. Got to go downhill and then go uphill, but it's no higher than my cabin. So there's no water source above me. So I would not be surprised if most of the deer are staying low. I don't know what their habits are for sure, but there has been a lot of deer seen. As a matter of fact, we were driving home the other day, and it was about that time, and I was in a hurry to get home, but a deer was alongside of the road, and then all of a sudden he jumped out in front of me, and I hit it. Um, no, I didn't get the meat because it got up and ran off. So I was looking at his legs. It didn't seem to be favoring any of his legs. So I guess I didn't break any legs. Um, but I said, it's a she. It was a doe that ran out in front of me. Um, so I guess I slowed down enough. I saw her coming. I slowed down enough to where I didn't hit her real hard, enough to, she rolled a bit, and I'm sure she was sore if she survived. It doesn't take much for deer to succumb to any injuries from being hit by a car. Um, Wouldn't be the first time I hit a deer, and found it after the fact, and it had died from the injuries. But at that point, it's too late. I couldn't do anything about the meat. So, um, so anyway, it's today. Like I said, it's supposed to be a rainy day, and we've gotten a little, but very, very little. Um, I use the black barrel by my by my fence. It's underneath the drip of the gutter as an idea of how much rain I would have gotten, because it's mostly being fed the um, into the big tank, but it has enough of a drip that it fills that black barrel too. Um, and There was a little bit more water in it because I just gave Daisy some. Yeah, I was didn't get this live stream up as early as I wanted to because I had to go out and check on Daisy. I have Daisy locked in the stall, because her teats are just getting cut to pieces. Um, and they need to be able to heal, and she needs to stay out of the briars. She's not too upset about being locked in. So long as she's got hay and water, she's good. And I had left a bucket of water for her this morning, and I just checked on her, and it was almost empty. So I had to give her some more water. Um, I was surprised to see that she drank so much. But I'll leave her in that stall over during the day, and then at night I'll put her in with the other goats, um, just to give her teats a chance to heal without getting cut up anymore. Because I'm sure they're heading out to get whatever they can to eat, and that includes in amongst the briars with all the thorns and whatnot. I'm sure that's what's cutting her up. Um, Now, Lily and Ashley are now allowed out of the stall. Um, and I was a little concerned that, they would try to nurse off their moms. And I knew that little Miss was dried up. That's Ashley's mom. And, um, and so I wasn't too worried about that. I knew that little Miss wouldn't let her. But Daisy, because she is still in milk and I'm milking her, I wasn't sure if Daisy would let Lily nurse or not. Well, so I let them out, and she did try to nurse Daisy, but Daisy wouldn't let her. Daisy headbutted her. Not real hard, just, like, no, you're not going to nurse off of me anymore. You're a big girl now. So, and she is, and she's doing fine. They're not real happy, Ashley and Lily, especially Lily, because they were getting a little bit to eat in the morning, and so that I could clean the stall because they were sharing the stall with Chucky at night. And so they were getting a little bit of feed, and they were starting to get a little bit on the chunky side. So now that they're out with the other goats, they don't need to be fed anything extra. They get fed at night with the rest of the goats. And I'm watching. I'm a little bit concerned about Mama. Mama's looking a little bit ragged. She's my oldest goat. Um, and I got to thinking, she was about 6 when I bought her. And I think it was like 3 years ago I bought her. So that would put her at 9. Um, so I'm a little bit concerned about how much longer I'll be able to breed her. I'm just keeping an eye on her. So long as she, you know, has good condition and puts weight back on her and isn't too thin, she can be bred. But I'm just, you know, she's obviously not as young as like Coco or Little Miss, or even Moo Moo. Moo Moo's done better since I put her on the beet pulp. Moo Moo has done better. Her her, um, her overall weight is much better. So I once she got to that point, I don't have to have her out for special feeding anymore. She's doing good. She's holding her own, so that's good. Um, Mama, I think I might have to um, feed her an extra feeding during the day. Thing is, she's harder to separate because she's a little bit more aloof than the other goats. Well, like I said, she's the oldest one I've got, and where I bought her from, he didn't really mess with them that much. You know, he let them breed, they kidded, and just when it was time to ship them, they weren't like handled a lot. Um, Whereas I want my goats, I want to be able to handle them so that I can check them for parasites if their hooves need to be trimmed or what have you. Okay. Um, so I do handle my goats. Okay. Um, Lily, which is Daisy's daughter, she's starting to get a little bit obnoxious. But anyway, she's got such a cute face, you can't get mad at her. So anyway, so that's what's going on with those goats. Now Nilly has gone to her new home. Um, she went to my farrier. He had asked that she be bred, so I hung on to her until um, I let Billy out to do his thing, and um, I thought that she got bred when I first let him out. She was definitely showing interest in him, um, but I didn't actually see him breed her. So I told my farrier that I would hang on to her till the end of the month. That would put it through 21 days and see if she goes back into heat. And if she does, if I see her bred, then I'll deliver her by the end of the month. And she did go back into heat. She and who was it? I think it was Little Miss. Yeah, it was her and Little Miss went back into heat. So that means that she will kid the end of March. So I didn't see my farrier when I dropped her off, but his kids were there and his wife was there. So um, next time I'm over that way, I'll see how she's doing. Um, and so, but she wasn't too happy about getting put in the back of the truck, but she didn't know what was going on. So hopefully she'll settle in all right. He does have at least one other goat, um, and he had a young buck that he was going to be keeping. That he liked the young buck, and it was a good looking one. So um, I think that he should have um, a good crop this year of kids. So I'm very optimistic there. I think she's going to do fine. Um, I didn't worm her though. I usually like to worm them when I'm sending them off for someone that I know is going to be keeping them for either a pet or for breeding purposes. But she should be all right. As I recall, I think her eyes look fine. So, but I see him often enough that if I think that you know she needs to be wormed, I can worm her for him, or let him know what to give her. So he has horses, so you know I'm sure he has the wormer for them too. So anyway, so that's Nilly. Nilly is doing well. Um, so that leaves me with just 8 goats. That's Mama and Coco and Moo Moo and Little Miss and Daisy, and then Lily and Ashley, and then Billy. Um, Not sure what I'm going to do about Billy yet. Um, he's a good buck, and I really hate to part with him. But at the same time, I can't have him keep breeding his daughters. I need some new blood in the buck line. So, we'll see what happens. Like I said, he's a good buck, and I almost hate to part with him. Uh, but anyway, Chucky. Chucky, I took him Friday morning to the butcher. We drove an hour away. Um, He did really well. He loaded really well on the trailer, and he traveled well. Of course, I had given him his alfalfa in the morning. Excuse me, and gave him some hay. So, and when we got there, the place, they were really nice, really patient. Um, I backed up. I tell you, I hit the loading dock a little bit too hard, and of course my husband freaked out. So then I didn't get it into park. I had it in drive, and it's because he was freaking out. And it's like, and then I started rolling forward, and it's like, oh, stink. So I had to back up a little bit more. Anyway, we got it done, and he had this particular trailer I had borrowed. It had a sliding door on it, but I couldn't get it open. It would only open like that far, and that wasn't enough. So they said, that's okay. I had him in the front of the trailer and had a door to close. So they were able to open the big door. Hey, Christy Betts. So they were able to open the big door before I backed up, and then I backed up. And they were very patient about him getting off. They didn't beat on him. They didn't rush him. Of course, I had to coax him, and I got further up the chute, and once when went ahead of him and called him, he followed, and he came, and I gave him a good pet. Okay, I wasn't going to do that. Yeah, this last week he was a really good boy, but he is serving the purpose that he was purchased for. And like I said, they treated him very well. They were very patient and very kind with him. And people say, well, how can you do that? How can you do that? Because that was his purpose. And the bigger he got, the more difficult he was going to be to handle. Oh, dang, signal's bad again. I'm sorry, have terrible service today. Probably because of the weather, Christy. I know a lot of people have problems when it's got bad weather. We've got storm systems coming through. So that's probably why. But, I mean, you can always, if you miss, you can always watch later, when the signal's a little bit better. I forgive you. So anyway, so I did get a hanging weight. I did not get a live weight. They didn't have a way of doing a live weight. But they did give me his hanging weight, which was about 400 pounds, which isn't a lot, but he wasn't a beef breed. He was a dairy breed. So the bone to meat ratio is going to be different and everything. So that was fine. Being a little bit on the smaller side is fine because it's just my husband and I. So his meat should do us for a while. But, I do know that it happens very fast. They do not know what's happening. Okay? Um, they haven't got a clue. It's just one second they're there, and the next second it's lights out. Okay? So, quick, painless, and I know that. I have had to put an animal down before, and I have done it with the assistance of a vet and with the assistance of a 22. A 22 is faster and less painful. Okay, so I don't have a problem I'm sure they use something other than 22. So I'm doing a live stream. Okay, just letting you know. Um, anyway, so in about 2 weeks we'll get his meat and it'll go in the freezer. So anyway, so that's it was the drive down was uneventful. It's an hour down, an hour back. Um, Long day. I'm tired, and ran around yesterday. Uh, well, first of all, like I said, I dropped off Nilly yesterday, and then I had to go and try and talk to a guy about doing some fence. Hello, Gracie. Come on, you can come up. Hello, hello, Gracie. What you doing, huh? Yeah, it's Gracie, Gracie. I'm surprised the angel's not over here. She usually is. Anyway, oh, somebody just needed some loving, I guess. Yeah, okay. All right. Anyway, okay, Gracie. I don't need my face washed. No, I don't. Um, so anyway, I went the way that I was showed how to go, and their bridge was washed out since I was there. Um, I said, lovely. Okay. I said, when did that happen? Apparently, the last rain we got was a couple of weeks ago. It rained hard enough here where it filled my large tank by about half full, but I didn't think we got that much. But apparently, and I did see on the radar that other people in the other areas got more rain than we did. Apparently, that particular spot got a lot of rain, and their bridge was washed out. So that meant I had to go around and go the long way. I did get there and I did talk to them. They are booked up right now for fencing, but I told him, if I can at least get the one fence done before my goats kid in the first week of March, that would be great. There's no huge press for everything else, but that one fence I really need to have it up. Otherwise, it's going to be more complicated for me. So they said, they might be able to do that before that. So I left my number and he'll give me a call if anything changes. So I will be very happy to have that done because I've been trying to get that done for a while now. Now, the only problem I have is I need to get the T-posts out of the ground. There are different places on the property where I don't need them there because I'm going to be doing something else. So these T-posts need to come out so I can see how many I got, see if I need to get any more. So, and the thing is, even with that T-post puller, unless it's wet, and even then, it's not easy to pull them up. If I had a little bit more strength, maybe I could do it, or a longer handle on it. I don't know. But anyway, so I'll see what I can do. I was kind of hoping I can get him to pull the T-post, but he won't have time probably. So, and he said, oh, they've got a T-post pounder, a mechanical one, and an auger. And it's like, okay, well, for that, where that woven wire is going, you don't have access for heavy machinery. There's access for maybe about as wide as a four-wheeler or a small tractor, but a big piece of machinery, no, you can't get back in there. Not the short way, anyway. So anyway, talk to him about that. Also, talked to one guy about doing my back porch. He's busy until spring. He can't do it. I told him about another guy. I said he might have time. So after I talked to the guy about the fence, I went over to his place, talked to him about possibly doing this. Of course, he wasn't home. Nobody was home, so I couldn't even leave a message. So I wrote out a note, and we'll see if he calls me back. So I'm really hoping to get this back porch built before Christmas. Um, if he can't do it, I have one other person I can contact that might be able to do it. Um, I don't know how much he charges, but um, he did some work for me before. So um, anyway, we'll see what happens. Um, one way or another, I want to get this back porch done, um, and it will really help out. What I eventually I will close it in, um, but for right now, it'll be the floor and it'll be the roof. Um, and if I get a chance, I'll put 2x4s around it so that I can enclose it with some plastic so that it'll block any wind, so we don't get a draft on this door. Because this door is not airtight. Well, it's an inside door. It's not an outside door. Because I was going to have a back porch built, and I'm still waiting for it to be built. So, but anyway, so that's what's going on. You know, still working. Still trying to get that ditch dug. It would be helpful if I could stay home long enough to get it dug. But I think that what I'm going to do, we have to go uh, pay some bills tomorrow. We couldn't pay them before when we went to that town because their computers were down. So we have to make another trip. So going there. Oh, I'm sorry, Gracie. I'm going to move it in a minute. I got a tool right on her bed there. Um, I know, sweetheart. Come on, you can come up. I know, sweetie. So anyway, yeah. So we have to go to town tomorrow, and I think on the way, somebody told me that this one place that's on the way there might have a ditch witch that I can rent, and I think I'm going to look into doing that if it's not too expensive, because at this rate, I ain't never going to get that ditch dug, and I got to get this dug so I can get the water hooked up, so that I don't have to lug buckets of water for honey anymore. Um, and then once that's done, I can concentrate on our water. As much as I want to get that stall done, so I can have a milking room, and I want to get other things done, I got to get this done. I got to stay focused on getting this water done for us, so that we have running water. Yes, I know. And then you won't have to keep begging for water, right? Yeah. So somebody's being a sookie puppy. Yep, aren't you? Well, anyway, I guess I should probably get off of here, um, check the weather, and see what's going on. The goats weren't out there. I just got Daisy, so I got to see if the goats are back because we do have some rain moving in. So I got to check on them to make sure everything's all right. Um, so, anyways, this is Mom H with Honey Hollow Homestead. I will talk to y'all later, and hopefully, you all are getting the rain that you need. I know a lot of people are a lot drier than what they should be. So, anyway, talk to y'all later.